help from Microsoft Copilot, and bam, I'm up and running again. Okay, so I do have a couple of things I have to work on. I am working on breakfast snack. I'm eating pudding for breakfast. What do you think of that? No, this pudding, half a cup, 16 grams of protein. Delicious. Tastes like chocolate pudding. mm, yum. Hard to believe you get 16 grams of protein with this thing. Really all it is Jello chocolate pudding with chocolate milk made out of milk and protein powder. So I used chocolate protein powder. So it's about one scoop is 24 grams of protein in a cup of milk. One box of this pudding is 3 cups of milk. So I just put 3 cups of my chocolate protein milk in there, which is what, 70, well, it's actually about 33 grams of protein per cup because it's 24 plus the 9 that comes with milk. So it's about 99 grams of protein in the box of pudding. Divide that up to the 6 servings, which is a half cup of pudding, and you get about 16, I think, 16 grams of protein. So that's a pretty delicious breakfast. I don't know how many calories it is. I mean, you get your milk, the protein powder is about 100. The milk is, actually I don't remember what milk is. Well, it's not a full, it's a half. So you got to figure it's about a half. So it's about 50 grams of protein, 50 calories in the protein. Alexa, how many calories are in a cup of milk?
1 cup of milk has 120 calories.
It's about 100, so about 60. So it's about 110 calories. And then I don't remember how much. I think it's not very much for the pudding. So I want to say it might be 100. So it might be 200 calories for half a cup of pudding and 16 grams of protein, which is really not bad. It's really actually really good. Anyway, so what am I working on, you might ask? So you get all kinds of cool bits of information from me. All you have to do is be here and say hi. Let's go look at Jello chocolate pudding nutrition. This one. It's 100, so it's 50. So you got, well, no, that's a whole, that's per serving, so it's 100. So yeah, about 210 calories. 210 calories, 16 grams of protein. It's not the most efficient, but it's actually really pretty good for something tasty, like a dessert. I'm eating it for, instead of a donut, I get chocolate pudding. And honestly, a donut, no protein, and more calories. All right, so the issue I'm having right now in my app here is, where was I? I have my navigation panel. I've decided to make it part of the main screen, and I want to put it on top of the window that's underneath it. I don't know if that works. It may actually not be ideal to do it that way, but I'm trying to do that because I want it to look good. So the only other option I can think of is to continue separating them, but put my background, because what's happening here, I'm not sure what's happening, to be honest, but I put this on top, and then I made the title screen bigger, and then I put this on top of the title screen. I thought even though it's on top of the title screen, it's not showing up, the navigation panel. So I put my navigation panel in this same container as my content, so that I could allow the content windows to expand to the top, and my navigation buttons would appear over the top part of those panels. I set the background of the navigation panel to transparent, so the background of the content of the panels within the content panel would show through. It is not working. The navigation panels is getting covered up, even though I put the navigation panel at the bottom so that it would show. Okay, so one of the things of the order I've noticed is the items at the bottom get to show up on top. It's kind of like you're stacking items. So you put one item in, you put another item on, underneath it, it's on top. And the other one's on top, and the other one's on top. So the items at the bottom are on top. Or at the lower part of the screen are on top. So you're just stacking. I know this because that's how the stop button worked, or the start button worked. So if I put the start button at the top, it actually shows up. It gets buried by the other items. In the canvas hierarchy, the last child rendered on top. Make sure your navigation panel is the last child of its parent. You can set the navigation panel to the top in code, canvas sorting. If your navigation panel or content panels are on different canvases, check the canvas sort order property. A canvas with a higher sort order will render. Oh, are they? Is it a canvas? Did I set that as a canvas? I have a main canvas, but I don't think I have content container. That's not a canvas, is it? I wonder if that's a canvas. Is there like a way to know? Once it's named, I don't know how to tell if it's a canvas or not. Because there's no... Is it a panel? Is it a canvas? It doesn't say. Let's see if I know. If an item is named without its object type, i.e. my canvas versus my screen, how can I tell what object type it is? Hey Dominic, how's it going, man? What's the latest with you? It threw me off. Out doing DoorDash. Did you change your name? I saw hey, I was about to say, hey Nintendo, and then I'm like, Dominic? What's going on? DoorDash, and I guess I was gonna say it's early, but it's only 1 o'clock. Oh, it's 1 o'clock to you, I mean. It's 10 o'clock to me. I have a content container object, but don't know if I set it up as a panel or a canvas. Select the game object in the inspector window. Look at the list of components attached to it. If this is a canvas component, if it has an image, a raw image component, and usually a child of canvas, it is likely a panel. If it has a rect transform but no canvas, it is a UI element but not a canvas. If it has a canvas component, oh, so all right, well, that's good to know. I mean, I knew because you said hey, and then you said DoorDash, and those two things combined to tell me, I know it. I know who you are, but it was just it kind of threw me off. You keeping me on my toes, man. Yeah, where'd it go? If it has an image, raw image, if it has a rect transform but no canvas, it is a UI element but not a canvas. Well, it does have, okay, so it's not a canvas. So that solves that problem. So my problem is I'm trying to get this navigation panel to show up on top, but some reason it's on top now, but when I run it, it vanishes. So I don't know why. Now, that could have something to do with my navigation buttons. Actually, I don't know what it would have anything to do. Navigation button manager. Why is a position on this? Why is there even a position on my navigation button manager? Can't even, why is that even a thing? Huh. Why are you doing this? This should be on top, but it's getting buried, and I'm not sure why. Could be my navigation button manager, maybe. Maybe it's problematic. See, it's gone. Oh, but there's a couple of things weird. Look, there's something on top. Oh, why is this so huge? What the heck? Now that's why is this so big? Oh, are we like scaled out? Oh yeah. There we go. Okay, so this is regular, and you can see my buttons aren't there. Nothing is making my buttons appear, even when I click on it, it doesn't come up on top. My buttons are not visible. Now, is it possible that I did something to purposely make them invisible until I hit start? It's possible. I wouldn't put it past me, because I don't really need navigation buttons are going to do me no good in this state. So true. So maybe I did something to turn the navigation panel off. So I got navigation button manager. So maybe they're not visible while I'm doing this. Let's go see title screen button. Let's go to my code here and see. It's possible I'm turning them all off. And if that's the case, that's fine. I'm actually okay with it. I just want to make sure I'm not let's see. Show panel. Startup, setup buttons. So none of these are my buttons. These are my login stuff. Title screen panel. No fields to clear on the title screen panel. And it wouldn't do anything until I'm in the login panel. So the title screen panel, login panel buttons, show panel, title screen panel. Back from login, that's back from login. We add the listener. Handle login, that's not it. Handle register, that's not it. Is it unsuccessful login, which is not it. And then we have show panel. If we are good, continue and start, which is what that says. Start, we're good there. I feel like there's some redundancy here. If that's clear, we don't need it, but whatever. Auth service is logged in, is fine. And then we have awake, auth service instance, find first object. Auth service not found in the scene. Navigation button manager not found in the scene. I don't think any of that's happening. Is any of that actually happening? Let's go look at my log. Reference script on this behavior is missing. The referenced script on this screen is missing. No active loader was found. Make sure to select your loader in the adaptive performance settings. Football camera manager, start called, fixed speed control initialize, navigation button initializing, command buffer, render texture type 3 not found while executing. What is this? Set render target depth buffer. I know what object it's referring to. I do not, but that could have something to do with it. What does this mean, and how do I track down what it is referring to? Something about command buffer. This could have something to do with my issue. The scripter system tried to use a built-in render texture type 3, which is usually the camera's depth buffer. Render texture type 3 refers to built. The warning usually appears when a camera is rendering without a valid depth buffer. A custom command buffer or post-processing effects trying to, okay, how to track it down. Check camera and render texture setup. Make sure all cameras that render to a render texture have a valid render texture assigned. If you use a raw image to display a camera output, ensure the camera's target texture is set. Okay, so I only have one camera in this scene or on this item. So that's should allow me to pin it down quickly because it's this one. And Audacity is what are you what are you talking about with these little buddies? I don't know, man. You and your little buddy seems to be quite the thing for you. Well, what is it looking at? Background type, volumes, output texture, none, render texture. All right, maybe that's something to do with it. I don't see any other textures. Depth texture is off. Yeah. I don't have. Let's see. Depth texture is unchecked, and what is this other thing? Output texture equals none, and otherwise I don't see any other texture properties in the inspector. The only camera on this scene. Sarah Lewis. Going back and then typing and then I don't know how good I'll be at typing text back and forth. I'll get too distracted. Let's see. Let's see. Depth texture is unchecked and target texture set to none. This means the camera is rendering directly to the screen, not to the render texture. No depth texture is being generated for post-processing or custom effects. This is the default setup for most cameras. You only need to set a target texture if you want the camera to render to a render texture. For example, to display the camera's view in a UI. If you are seeing errors or warnings about render textures or depth buffers, the only warning that I'm getting is the one I mentioned. Why? What? Oh. You can assume, Nintendo, that if I apply in text, I'm probably replying to Sarah. So if I say something that makes no sense to you, I'm probably replying to her. Anyway, so let's see. Graphics warning, and not usually critical error. It often appears when blah 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 blah. If your scene works as expected and you're not seeing any visual or functional issues, you can generally ignore it. If you want to track it down, check if any custom shaders, post-processing, or UI elements like raw image are trying to use a camera's depth or render texture. Make sure no scripts are calling those things or similar unless you know what they're doing. The warning is not unusual and is often harmless, especially if you're not using advanced rendering features. If you see no other images, you can safely continue development. Well, I'm not seeing anything out of whack. I just wasn't sure. Pretty much. On Friday night and Saturday, I will usually... Oh, no, I guess that's right, because that's not... she's on Twitch. Usually in, oh, I don't know, let's see, 1 to 2 hour, no, let's see, 2 hour plus increments, taking breaks periodically to change periodically to either change focus or get stuff done. I don't know. So it's kind of weird to have to be typing text over there. It throws me off. I can't respond as quickly. I have to think more. I don't think this is going to be doing that, but let's try it. Let's see what this does. Control-Shift-F. Let's see if there is anything. Set target buffer. Nope. Oh no, I'll current project. Try again. Nope. Okay, so that's not in there. So what is the other one? Set render target. Set render target. Nope. Okay, so that's not an issue. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know where the problem is. But it's not an error, it's a warning, but you know, warnings. I don't like warnings. The reference script unknown on this behavior. That's so generic because it doesn't even tell me where it's at. It's in the content container. The reference script unknown. Wait a minute. If I click here and click there again, no, it still goes back. So it does say something. Well, what is this reference script? Sure. Whenever someone leads in with, can I ask you something? I will generally get a bit nervous. LOL. Whenever someone leads in with, can I ask you something? Because my general feeling is, go ahead and ask. I mean, I mean, just ask. You don't have to ask if you can ask something, but you generally do that if people only ever say, can I ask you something? If they're going to ask you something that's personal or some other weird thing. So it's like, I always get a lot like, okay, sure. And you might ask, why do I have workout gloves on? Why? Why am I wearing workout gloves? Well, the reason is I just got done working out. All right. In fact, I haven't taken them off because I don't feel necessarily like I'm done working out. I didn't do a great workout this morning. I did 5 miles on my bike to get warm, but that was 3 hours ago. And then I did some miscellaneous exercises, and I'm like, I'm keeping them on so I can, like, if I can get myself motivated every now and then, go do some pull-ups or do some push-ups or do some dips, and just kind of spread my workout through the morning. I'll eventually take them off and just focus. But I feel like if I leave them on, I'm at least like I'm ready to do something. Plus, if I leave my tank on, instead of going and putting on a regular t-shirt or something, I'll get cold. If I get cold, I'll want to work a little bit just to get warm. So that's the reasoning behind all the workout garb on me. So now you know. And I apologize if you're not hearing this because I don't want to type it all out. Anyway, so this isn't my normal garb while coding, but unless it's morning, I could be wearing, I mean, we're getting into the summer, so maybe more often that I'm wearing something similar to this, but it's still not generally what I'm wearing. Oh, Sarah. See, I knew there was something. I am completely broke. My stream makes $0. And I have been unemployed for over a year. So I have no money for any extra stuff. And with that, probably my last reply to Sarah. Sorry, Sarah. So it's usually something like that. Somebody comes in, they're like they act like they're interested, and then they start trying to sell you something. And you can kind of tell it's coming. You get this feeling where there's some kind of comments going on, and then somebody leads in with, can I ask you something? Which is either going to be a personal question or they're going to try to sell you something. So my cockles raise when somebody leads in that way, and I'm like, oh boy, here it comes. And then, bam. So with that, I'm probably going to stay focused on my task here and do a little less replying in text. Okay, so I'm still trying to figure out a couple of issues. One of them is, now it says that the camera one, not a big deal. I don't know why this one is happening. This is another warning, but I don't know. None of these do anything. But that one pops up and says, the reference script unknown on this behavior is missing. Is there an unknown script somewhere? None of these have any scripts attached, including that one. Now it says this, but oh, missing. What if I just remove that? Doesn't seem to have anything, so no point in referencing it. Oh, whatever. Missing monoscript. Call to deinitializer without an initialize manager. This one doesn't, these ones don't tell you where their problem is anywhere. Built-in render texture type 3 not found while executing set render text depth buffer. Built-in render texture type 3 not found while executing set render target depth buffer. Do I have that on something? I don't know what that's, I don't know, is that complaining about what's in the sim? I don't even know where that is. I mean, I do have other cameras, I just... Render shadows... Depth texture. Use settings from render pipeline asset. I don't know how to... It's not... Oh, wait. No. I wish I knew where that was happening. There are some places like these cameras are setting the depth texture. Use setting from render pipeline asset. They're all set to the same thing. And this one says render target. I just don't like having a bunch of warnings. I don't know how serious they are, but Built-in render texture type 3. I have no idea what that is. Target display output display 3. Two, one. Oh, wait a minute. Display 1, 4, 2, 3. Oh, okay. Never mind. I thought I was maybe using the same display on a couple. Target I. It says type 3, not item 3, but still, I was just trying to pin it down. All right, so we're still having a slight issue going here. Let's roll this open. Since I got the script, I think this reference script thing is gone. So now we're down to just the one item, it looks like. Still texture 3 is still a thing, but... And I still have no buttons, but I don't know for sure that that's a problem. Tabbing doesn't do anything here because I disabled navigation by keyboard. And the reason I did that is because I wanted to act more like a phone. Because and a phone doesn't have keyboard navigation. So that wouldn't do me any good anyway. Now there is copy and paste, and this should allow me to paste. So we don't have any real errors that I can tell other than that render thing. Hopefully that's not causing me a problem, but so you see at the bottom here it says response. I actually got a token. So it contacted my backend service, pulled back data from my backend service, but then it blew up. Now I already kind of know where that's happening. I just haven't figured out why it's happening. So where it's happening is here. So we go in here. We run this function, which is up here. I believe it's this guy. We're posting, and then we do a send request. And then that send request goes down here. And we're tripping. We're tripping and falling somewhere along this route. Because what this is supposed to do is return a type T task, which is essentially returning a response. And that response is supposed to go to the front end app, the AMG Auth data, which is trying to do a login async. But when the reason I didn't break on these breakpoints, because apparently I didn't attach. So let's go back here and stop this. And we're going to attach. Okay, so what I should see is when I come here, this thing should get some values, but what's happening is when we do this, it comes back basically empty. The response has no data. Okay, I'm getting cold, so I gotta go do some exercise. Hold on, you can ignore me for a minute. I'm gonna go do just a second. I'm gonna go do some pull-ups to warm up. You might see my feet dangling. Okay, just a quick 10, and I am not warm, but my blood is starting to pump. Maybe after a few seconds I'll go back to another 10. I could have probably done 15. Probably should have. That would have warmed me up more. But just kind of get moving. Maybe I can make this a normal get up and move around thing. I am cold, but I know I haven't done enough exercise this morning, and I feel like I need to do something. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and break here again, or run this again. Let the breakpoints trigger. I'm hoping the reason things aren't showing up is because I'm doing something that's making my panel disappear. It's probably not what's happening. I don't mind the panel disappearing right now, but eventually this is going to have to do something. Oh, never mind. So this is the login. So everything goes good all the way down to here. Now you'll see I got setup request, and then it's going to send the request, which I guess is this WW variable. So we're sending in all of our stuff. Progress. This is the login. Where's the, well, I already know it actually logs in. And this didn't actually send anything using blah, 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 blah. So we set up the request, send the request, F11. So then we go down here, we have this is the operation dot send request. Get response headers. Are they null? They are null. Why are they null? While not done. Ariano, man. Big timer. Don't be so impressed. Half of those are mine, replying to Sarah, who was trying to sell me something. So if you take out like the last 30 or 40 comments, you'll see that I really only had maybe 1, 2, 3, 4. I can count them on less than 10. Dominic, who's Nintendo, by the way, Nintendo 504 or 54, whatever it was. He's the only one who's legitimately here to hang out when he is. So, come on, Ariano, come on, keep it clean. She was just trying to sell me something, and I was only replying to her because she said her headset was broken. And so that's why I texted back. She said her headset was broken, but then she tried to sell me something. So I don't know if it was some kind of a scheme. I don't know. But yeah, that's what that was all about. Okay, so I know we are getting something back, because that's the context. And debug log. What is this? Header key, content type, and value. Application JSON. Is that really what logs? Oh, it's got multiple? Wait, how can we have multiple? It was null. Oh, it says not null. Oh, okay, never mind. God. So we're reading the values. Okay. Let's go to F5. And then we are here. Response code. 200. 200 is actually a success, by the way. So we got a positive response code. We've got the log. What's happening somewhere in this process is we are either getting, does it say connection error or protocol error? I'm thinking we're going to be able to skip this. Yep. Okay, so we're good there. And then what? Successfully received a response. Received empty, which we did not do. So we're supposed to return result, but the problem is this is failing. We're not getting a correct JSON. Deserialization return null object for type. So result must be setting. It is. So we have our object, but it's not, whatever this return type is, it totally does not parse into it. I think the question was, I wonder if my result, what does my result expect? I think it's not, it doesn't have the same stuff. So you think I'm just one of them down home type folks. Kind of be good for living down in the nowhere lands in my ghetto trailer in the Appalachians. Is that what you're trying to say? You saying something about my ways of speaking, the ways I talk, the ways I look? Man, you're too much. Anyway, I'm going to try to see if I can figure out. I think the problem was, and I think it said so much. Where is the what's a bag? What bag have I secured? Do not know what you speak. Login response. So it might be auth service. It's probably in their models. Login response. No. Why isn't it under models? It should be under models. Delete account response. Okay, so that's probably missing, or at least it's not where it's supposed to be. So NGAuth, do I have? Dang it, where's it at? Login response. I don't know who that is. There it is. Where is this? AMG auth data. Oh, so it's not stored in the model. It's stored in my. It's stored at the wrong. Is this at the bottom? Let's go here. I'm gonna add. All right, let's stop. Time to stop. Trying to see if I can fix a few things. Go to my models. Add new item. I'll just call it AMG auth. AMG auth. No. .cs. Then we go back to AMG auth data. And then we take all of this. dump this. Go here. What do I need generally to have these things be happy? I need this. Some of these don't look like they're even being used, so I probably could get rid of them. Get rid of some unnecessary items. Now we'll go over to my AMG Auth data again. And then I can go back here and know where I'm looking. So login response. What do I expect my login response to return? I believe it's not that. Nah. Well, no. We've thought about moving to other cities. But no, we haven't really planned. We haven't thought about moving anywhere. We're not going anywhere for a while. All right, I think I need to do another set. I'm trying to get my exercise in while I do this. Gotta go. Come to Detroit. It has a booming automobile industry. Oh, come on. When are they actually ever booming? They haven't been booming in 60 years. Hey, Dominic, you're back, man. Ariano says Detroit has a booming auto industry. Today I'm going with keep myself warm by way of exercise. So instead of throwing blankets on and being lazy, get up and warm my tushkus by way of lifting my butt up off the ground. Try not to get it to the point where I'm so winded though that I'm it's not very good streaming voice. Alright, so let's see here. AMG Auth data response object, which means I have to go, that's not going to be anything. Let's go into the common and the API and AMG Auth. Login response. Pause request. Token. Pretty sure I returned more than just that. Oh, is it in the token? Is that all it's returning is a token? I wonder if that's the problem. Because it's in the token. Huh. How did I do it in the PFFM web? Most cars in the United States are made in Detroit. Not most cars. I think a lot of them are made in Japan. So, but in the United States, yeah, a lot of cars are made in Detroit. Yeah, they have a lot of manufacturers. I don't think they're the most. I mean, several of the car companies in Detroit, I mean, they may have the most in quantity of automobile manufacturers, and maybe combined they might be the most, but I don't think any one of them is the biggest car manufacturer. Well, then this is going to be the most different clone in the history of cloning. By the way, this AI, the app I'm writing is not 100% written by AI, because if it was, I don't know any AI that can create anything that's as complicated as this. And this thing is having huge problems with a lot of the stuff I'm doing. So I'm not like saying, create this game, boom, that's the game I'm building. It's not how it works. AI is not smart enough for that. In fact, it's actually quite stupid. It can make simple games, but what it can't do is make complicated games. So you're kind of wrong. You're right in your basis of saying that it uses what's out there to create what it creates. But what it doesn't do is know how to create any of that stuff in mass or in huge amounts. So what I have to do is, when I'm using the AI, I'm not saying create my game. I'm saying, AI, I need your help creating this piece of my game and this piece of my game. I need it to be built like this or like that. And each piece is being manufactured and optimized and fixed and followed up on with AI. But the AI is not even really smart enough to keep track of all the other parts and pieces that are involved. I'm constantly having to refeed it stuff because it doesn't know. And so, yeah, AI is not writing this application. Right. But is it booming? I mean, really, I don't know that that means it's booming. I think the automobile industry is struggling because cars are getting so expensive and people just don't buy cars like they used to. I mean, yeah, they're still out there. People are still buying them, obviously. But I don't think it's a booming industry anymore. I don't even know what that is, dude. How old do you think I am, Ariano? Do I look that old? I mean, I'm sure I don't look like I'm a teenager, but truly? Yes, I'm old enough to be a grandfather. It's true. But I'm not like, I mean, my kids aren't. I'm not that old because my kids, I was pretty young when I had my kids, so. All right, let's see. The issue here is that we're not getting back the token as I expect. So let's go to my PFFM web and go see what we do there to handle. So this is the token payload. So this is what's coming back. I think we have the response. layout incorrect for send request. The login only returns a JWT token, but deserialized, it should have all of these values. Given up on it already, huh? You've only been at it for less than an hour. What does that mean? You've been out there all this time and nobody, and not a single order? I should go, but it's Friday. I'm not doing it. I usually do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I didn't even go this week. I didn't even think I went all. I don't think I went but once last week. I know, I've been bad. Got to find a new way. See here, the token response is let's go back here. I didn't actually stop it. OnlyFans. Muscle building. I don't think I have, I don't know if I'm quite the expert for muscle building, but that's it's definitely a thing. There's plenty of people already doing physical fitness stuff. There's no niche there. I used to think, I used to have a niche. And the way I used to do it on my other channel, I do have a fitness channel where I used to stream, though I haven't been there in many months now. But my niche was I would do other people's workouts, like Athlete on X, body, beach body, has a bunch of them, so I would do all of those. I would do I did Cali Move. I did 3 of the 5 parts, but I couldn't afford to buy the last 2 parts, so I haven't done that. What else do I have? I did some other ones. I did like 2 or 3 from Athlete on X. Oh, I've also done Peloton. I did the bike ride ones, the Pain Cave. That's what they're called, the Pain Cave. But they're really good series of bike trainer workouts, and I do those sometimes. But I did all of these things on my stream. But I started running into issues with YouTube and Twitch because they didn't like me having the video on my screen while I did it. So if you can't put the video on the screen, it kind of loses the purpose, its flow. So sometimes I would just, for a while there, I would just put up the workout or the welcome screen, the starter screen. But but these there's so many people out there doing fitness stuff, and unless you've got a niche, it's not worth the time. I did have I got up to like 100 and some followers on my Twitch channel. It got pretty good. I think it was over 100. I mean, it was building, but I just lost oomph. Here, stop it. This is the response that comes. Update your API call. Change your login call to use the wrapper. Review my code. All right, time for another round of birthday. Yay. Okie dokie. Handache. Oh yeah, I forgot. I'm gonna have to log off early today. Got to study my lines some more. I did it this morning a little bit, but or maybe I'll take my midday break and I'll do some studying then. I really should kick off my Indiegogo. Yeah, my lines. You know I'm in a play. I'm playing Frederick Lauren, eccentric millionaire, for the House on Haunted Hill. He's I'm taking over the part of Vincent Price. You know, from the old 1950s, the House on Haunted Hill. I get to be the lead. I am the lead actor in this thing, man. Ariano, are you... I mean, what are you trying to do, man? I feel like you're just trying to push buttons. I don't know why. Why are you trying so hard to be kind of annoying? You're making too much effort. You got to just go easy, man. You think you're being funny, but you're really not that funny. I'm funnier than you, and I'm not that funny. Let's see if I can fix this puppy. All right, so add a wrapper for login response. AMG auth.cs. All right, so let's go to AMG auth.cs. We will, well, no, I'll just stick this in my AMG auth.cs here. Guess we'll go here. Throw that puppy down. Update your API call. AMG auth data. These are some new items. Login async. Oh. Login async. Yeah, handler dot post. Where is that call? Await, await, await. I don't even see an await call on here. Can you not see my code? Why are you guessing? What the heck, man? Why an example usage and not simply telling me what code I need to change? Okay, so I don't know what it is, but this cannot find my code. That's the problem. It just doesn't see the code. Interesting. I have Copilot. I have a paid subscription for 1 year. It's like $90 or something like that for a year. I think maybe it's just ChatGPT is just not smart. I was using 1.0, but I don't know, context-wise, it's not very good. bit more context. These are the fields that can be found. Deserializing these, serializing the root token. Organizing. There we go. Let's see here. So we're going to go login. Attempting login. Server. Wrapped response. So it's putting a wrapper on the code, which is going to use my login response wrapper, which I already created. And then it's going to basically break it up into a slightly different format to make it cleaner. Hopefully straightening everything up here. We'll go like this. So we're taking our wrap response, we're going to pull the data out. I don't like that it's using this. I think I'll probably have to change, because I do have a method for pulling values from my tokens. And that's not using it. And I have it in my utils here. Or actually, is it in my utils, or is it in my... Actually, it might be in my auth. What am I doing? Oh, it's auth data? Oh, auth services. It's probably in here. Yeah. Okay, so auth service has my... And we use the defined functions in the auth service.cs. So we want to centralize the token. Taking a deep breath. So, all right, so that already has that. Did it update it somehow? Decode root payload. Decode root token. Wait. Why? AI is so goofy sometimes. It does stuff like this where it wraps something else to use what it's already doing rather than just using the other function. Because if you'll see this code here, It's got use the existing implementation for auth service if possible. Decode drip payload, return payload. So it's going to do this, but then if it doesn't work, we're going to do this. It's like, why? What? I don't. It's if it works, it's just going to return it, so we're good. But rather than, you know, the thing is, if it doesn't work, then it's worthless. So the point is, we need to make it work and not create wrappers that go, well, if this doesn't work, we'll do it our own way. That's not how it's not how we got to do this. We got to make, and the thing is, I think it's almost the same. Fallback implementation if auth service is not. Why would auth service not be available? It's right there. It's in the same code area. Why would it not be available? AI, come on, man. What are you doing? What is the deal? It's in the same app. If the app is running, it's available. You thinking I'm just going to delete that particular method for some particular reason, and we need a fallback so that you can, you know, oh well, just in case. Oh, I'm glad I had this here because that was, you know, close call. All right, so yeah, that's just silly. Okay, so we're going to do this. I don't like that we're, I mean, again, why are we, okay, that is just weird. Token payload, oh, it's trying to read, it's trying to use auth service to get the username for my, okay, this is not, this is not, this is just not. All right, so see, this is why AI can't write applications. It's just not work, it's not doing what it's supposed to be doing. Token payload. Okay, so we need to restructure. This is not the way this should be done. Get auth token, set auth token. So really all we should do, get the token, set the token, and then read from the token. That's all we do. So none of this needs to be done. Let's see here. Nope. Let's give you a little bit more detail, a little bit more direction. How AMG auth data.cs should get when the token is created, retrieve, we set the token locally using a auth service set token. What is the Druid helper doing? Because I feel like decode token and okay, you'll need to add this to your project. Why? This is a placeholder for actual JSON parsing. You'll need to implement or use a JSON library. For Unity, you can use JSON utility or third-party solution like simple JSON. Try to extract basic properties, very simplified approach. I don't even know if this is being used. I feel like this whole thing is kind of wonky. Decode token. We set the token locally using auth service set token. Then we use the get token value. Token value method to get values token directory. N-A-N-G-R. Just so let's just do this. Let's just go ahead and write some code here. Let's go. We have data.token. We have decode to a token. We don't want to just decode the token because it's use and decode. That's almost should be a private method, and because it's not really what it's supposed to do. Set token, on the other hand, player prefs. Why is this player preferences? I don't even know why this is called player preferences. Token payload field. So we already have that. So this is like set auth token, player prefs, set string, save. What does set string do? Get email. Get token value. Get token value is going to go read from my decoded payload. Which is basically all these are doing is like predetermining these values that it's reading. So rather than me having so essentially I could have one for the email, the streamer key, the user ID. I could have all those items, and I don't even know why it does it this way. Get user ID. That's just weird. Okay, so we're gonna do some stuff. We're gonna change some stuff up. Public. String. Get user ID. I don't need to say from just do that. All right, so we got user ID, email, streamer key. What else we got? Username. I don't need the other ones right now. We'll just say username for now. Oh, I have username. Oh, I see. No, we're going to get rid of this one. And we're going to get rid of this one. I don't know what any of that stuff is. We don't need any of these. These can go all the way. I don't like any of you. You're all fired. You're all fired. You're doing it wrong. I don't like any of you. Get off token. Get user ID. No, we're not using that either. You're all dumb. And here we're going to go, okay, so we have streamer key, we're going to go public, username, there we go. Get token value username. Okay, so that's going to be nice and clean. Everything just comes from this. These are just like methods that are going to utilize that. In fact, I'm going to take all of these. It's kind of like they're simple get statements, really. They're just going to use this function so that I don't have to call it myself. We're just going to drop this puppies up here. Simple little gets. Log out. Log out. Shouldn't even have to delete these methods because they're going to be... What the heck is player prefs like some kind of... Did I set a player prefs thing? Oh, that must be an object, a model object. just don't think I need it. I mean, I guess I could use it. AMG Auth. What is the model? Is there a thing called player prefs here somewhere? It's not even, it's a terrible name, by the way. What is player prefs? Preferences? Is that what that's supposed to be? Is that going to be under the player thing? Nope. I don't even know. Where did it even put it? Response. There is no player prefs. Where? Somewhere that's got to be defined. It's probably defined inside of one of these dumb things. Where are you coming from? Get Auth token? Why would I have... Oh, get Auth token might get you... What? Oh, there it is, get Auth token. So get token value does the get Auth token. So guess I need that one. I don't know where is this player prefs defined at? Go to definition. Oh. Wait, player prefs is a... Is player prefs an actual built-in object? Huh. It is. It's a Unity engine thing. Unity engine core module. Huh. Interesting. That's unexpected. Okay, well. So basically it's going in here, it's setting this to the token, set string. Okay, so then we got to get the set auth token. We're going to get this from here, the token. What? So there must be certain values that are default in player prefs. Or you can create them? I don't know how that works. Get user ID. So and those are my values. Get token value. Go to it. Okay, so I don't know. I'm a little hesitant now. Only because I feel like it's maybe the player prefs is a more, I mean, since it's Unity and it's got its own built-in core module that uses these same values, I wonder if I should be using that. I mean, this is fine for what it was used for, but maybe. So we don't need to do, let's just go AMG auth service. Auth service dot set token? Nope. It isn't set token? It is set token. Are those private? set auth token. Did I not call it? Oh, come on. And just the token. I don't know why it's not identifying it though. Save auth data to press. If we're pulling it from the token, so we're setting it, and then that's supposed to go get it. We're not doing that. I don't get that whole bit at all. Auth service dot. How come I can't see any of my auth service objects? I think I need to declare it up here somewhere. Let's go up here and go auth. Stop it. Let's try that. Ah, there we go. Debug login failed. All right, well, I guess we'll find out what this does. Store the authentication data from the nested data object, access token, refresh token. Data expires in. Honestly, I don't even know what it's doing with all these. I feel like I can take all this out. Store the authenticated data for the nested data object. It's not a width, it's just, what's it storing? Oh, public string. Okay, we're putting them in those values. Okay. Wrapped data token. Why, if we're using access token, wrapped response.data token, why am I using that? Why not just use this here? Not that it's actually necessary, but if we're going to do that, if we're going to use it at all. I don't, yeah, whatever. I don't have a refresh token anyway. The data doesn't have a refresh token. All right, let's just break there and go see what it does. All right, so we're going to attach this to Unity. We're going to read what all my code is doing now using the code that I intended for it to use instead. I don't know that I'm going to be able to attach this though. But we'll try. We'll try and see what it does. Let's see if it'll let me attach while it's running. I may have to shut it down and restart it. My 16 grams of protein pudding is not holding its own. I'm getting hungry. It is 11:40. I mean, what do I expect, right? Doing something. It's not good at telling me when it breaks, so I have to like keep clicking around on the button. I don't think this button's very responsive. Could also be that it just didn't start well. Let's start it back up. Get my password. Yeah, that's what I thought. Maybe. There we go. Okay. That took forever to go, but we're through. So go here. Response headers. Send request. Go on and get all of our stuff. Don't need that. Oh, we definitely have some stuff. Do we have a result? There's a token. So login data. And my URL. Now we have a wrapped response. It has a token, nothing else, but we do have the token, so it's not totally null. What else is it expecting? Refresh token, user ID, and username. So none of those things actually exist. Just says token. Do we have an expiration? Oh, expires in. It does have an expire. It doesn't have it. Does that have that value? This is, yeah, this whole piece is not going to work. This stuff doesn't exist because it's in the token, and this doesn't read the token that way. This is just expecting it to come back all ready to go, but really all I'm getting back is a token. And then I have to deserialize it, which has to go through the other stuff. So these things don't even actually exist. We do have token, but we're broken because I took out that piece of code. It did keep it from running it did keep it from running that stuff, but now I'm like all out of wonkers. Okay, so that's not gonna work. Gotta reload everything. Gotta restart again. I'll go do some more pull-ups. Maybe I'll do some dips. Pull-ups and dips. This takes a minute to run. That's why it gives me an opportunity to go do a little bit of more muscle extraction. All right, 2 decent pieces of exercise. Oh. It seems my last login worked because now I came back and it's on continue instead of, okay. Apparently it worked. What do you know? Now, I don't know that it's validating the token or refreshing the token or doing anything useful to the token, but that just means I got past my my authentication. So I've got my user, my playbook, which doesn't seem to be clicking on anything. Stadium, not doing anything. Home, not doing anything. So we're a little off. Oh, maybe it was doing some validation. Okay, so I can see my playbook doesn't have any graphical improvements yet. Neither does my stadium, my game simulation. And my game simulation is on top, which it should be theoretically Theoretically, it should be on top. Problem is, in this current state of being, maybe I don't want it on top. Because I should just disable it when I'm ready. Because the simulator runs a game. And once the simulator has... Did you change back? Nintendo? Yeah. Hey, man. So, I've got it logging in now. Finally, I'm attached to my AI, my API. You know, I really should just take that as a good sign to make that my mid-morning break. It's a good place to stop. But I think I'm going to go ahead and move this down a notch. See if that pushes. Nope. There's stuff going on. Got some delays happening here. Boo. Alright, so that did. But it needs to be at a parent level. Nope. Not there either. Dang it. That's where I want it. Okay. So it's on top, so now I can move around. Go back to my home page. Okay, so I've got it kind of going. Now my start button is a continue button. I don't know what the continue button's going to do, to be honest. It's just the way to... I don't know what the next spot would be. So it's kind of like... The big question is, what will the continue button do? What do I want to see happen at this point of the game? So I could not have a button. That's an option. But it's kind of like this is the welcome screen. This is your app started up and you're like, okay, here we go. Woohoo. But some games just get right into it. Some games give you like a little, what do you want to do kind of thing? What's the action of your day? So that, you know, it might be, a lot of games might, if you have multiple saves, say like, this is where you pick your what game you want to play, you know, which save you want to play. Some might have variations in the game. So like this might be where if I want to allow for solo play or offline play or anything like that, there'd be an option where you click it and it does something that's set up for that particular type of play. If you're going to play, like my primary format is to just say you're playing with everybody else. You're in a world where you're joining leagues that have other people in them. It's the more social aspect of it where you're interacting with other players. That's kind of the primary form. Now, that's not to say that every team you play against is going to be another person, but it's to say that there's a good chance you're going to be playing against other people. Like a quick play will try to always be against another person's team, and it will actually pick other people's teams. So if there's at least one other person out there, it'll pick that team, and your team will go up against them. And the more teams there are, the more chance you're going to get somebody different. But it's just a simulation, so they're not actually out there. It's just going to grab a team and say, okay, here's your team. This is who they are. You're playing against their simulation. Your sim versus their sim. Their game plan versus yours. And then what I might do is start having kind of like a record tracker to try to get people against teams that are in their same general win-loss record zone. This way, if you don't want to, if you're playing against some guy who's got a terrible team, you don't want to keep wasting your time there, but you can build up and climb up the ladder and play against, better teams, if you're a better team, or teams that are more along your line. Now, keep in mind, my game is not building up on you can keep getting better and better and better and better and better and better and better. This is like an actual NFL style team. If you're a good coach and you got good game plan and you're doing good scouting, getting good decent players on your team may be good, but just like in the real world, players are going to get hurt, players are going to retire, and you're going to have bad seasons. You might have a lot of bad seasons. That's the idea. You should be able to improve, and if you're really good at it, but you're going to have one of those things where the teams you're going up against are, maybe I can have like scales of difficulty. Like at the beginning, you're going to play play with the big boys, it might be called, or this is the most realistic. You may have seasons of success, and you may also have a long streak of seasons of losses. Retirements happen, injuries happen. Then you might have one where retirements and injuries don't happen, and it's just easier because you can just keep getting better and better players, and different things, different criteria would happen if you play in a certain zone. But if you play on that, if you pick that, your team is stuck there. Because you would have gotten to your state of good teamness by way of not going through the knocks that come with getting good. So it's kind of like, maybe there's an option to have 2 or 3 and you can have one team in each, but your collection in each is separate too. See, that's giving people multiple, basically you're getting multiple accounts. You get to play on a weakling account, you get to play on a good account. Maybe it's a promotion thing, like you do good in a particular area, you unlock the next area. You do good in another particular area, you unlock the next area. I don't know. I'm trying to decide how that's going to work. But right now we'll just, I don't know. This is where I'm going to have my options for how you play. I don't even know what this button's going to do, to be honest. It doesn't do anything right now. It doesn't have, it has no purpose. But I guess now is the point where I need to get Playbook to kind of look like something, huh? Make Playbook a valid thing, because that looks terrible. I do have Playbook. I now have a Play user, and I've got data for them because it was built online. And I will try to do that next. I think I'm going to start trying to figure out how to get my Playbook connected. Finally, we'll get back to Playbook on the next session. But for now, I'm going to take a midday break. Till the next one, God bless.